afternoon. Hi, everybody. Deb, are you there?
I am. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Happy Saturday.
Yes, and we are so excited because we got to go to Debbie's house for Thanksgiving. That means she had all the dirty dishes in the pots and pans. And the food was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
And
Thank
yes,
you.
yesterday we were called Carb Heaven. It was wonderful. The dressing was outstanding. It was so good.
Thank
Okay?
you. I'm sure a lot of
Today
other
we're
people listening felt the same way, too.
They're getting together because some people started sugar-free early already, Miss Deb. They wrote to me and said, our family's already sugar-free. Good.
Yeah.
We're going to give you some real on that. And some people are starting on Monday morning. They're working really hard to entertain this weekend to clean out the cupboards. Okay? All the
Good.
chips and the crunchy and the ice cream is coming out of the freezer. And they're going to serve all their friends. So on Monday, they start clean. Isn't that great?
That's great. That's wonderful. Monday's fine. Monday will be fine.
Yes. And we wanted to help you with things like sabotage. We want to help you with things like better thinking about these things, because one reason people resist change is because they focus on what they have to give up instead of what they have to gain. So this whole webinar, I want you to write down or think about your reason why you are willing to develop a new lifestyle, because it's not a what,
It's,
Deb?
it's not a diet. Okay, you don't want to think of this as a diet. It's not. It's a lifestyle change, a positive lifestyle change for better health, not diet. You're not giving up.
Yes, sugar has no
Yay!
nutritional value.
I love that it has, there's the no vitamins, no minerals, no protein, and the way they pictured it, it does look like a drug. So, and it is. It acts like a drug.
It does. When you look up online, look up under scan comparison of brain on cocaine and brain on sugar, it is really frightening, because a lot of people have done the research and they've posted pictures of CAT scans of the brain on cocaine, heroin, alcohol, and on sugar. And what's really, really frightening is sugar lights up more parts of the brain with greater heat, or what we call activity within the brain, than any other drug. So part of the addiction is the stimulation to our brain and what we call fake endorphin release.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why should we quit sugar?
Well, sugar feeds cancer, autoimmune, viruses, hopelessness, weight issues, distractions from higher purpose, fatigue, cell deterioration.
Yes.
If that's not enough, it's also workload reduction within your body. And then we have all those other things: brain fog, emotional swings, coping skill weaknesses.
Oh, that's misspelled.
I like it.
Moving up your skills, yes. Right. Quality of life is thrown out if you hear yourself saying, wow, I'm out of balance. Wow, I just can't seem to achieve balance. One of the things you can control is what you put in your mouth. So if you give yourself a 3-week, is what Deb and I talk about, 3 weeks every quarter vacation from sugar consistently, it's amazing the wonderful things that can happen within your body. And many people we work with don't stop after 3 weeks. They've changed their lifestyle. They've accepted they feel better. And we're going to get into more of those details. One of the things, we just lost another friend to kidney cancer. It started with, he was on dialysis. And once you're on dialysis, they stopped looking at the kidney and didn't realize he had kidney cancer.
Wow.
So sugar is one of the main contributors. And talk about candida, Miss Deb.
Yeah. This is a this has a lot of symptoms: itching, depression, lethargy, fungus, indigestion, bloating, gas. You get headaches, joint pain, constipation, cranky, lack of restful sleep, chronic low-level infections, and many more.
Right. And one of the reasons I hear from people all the time is if I could reduce my joint pain, and that's the first time we did this, what, 4 years ago? We got
Oh,
cards
yeah.
from people who were talking about how they'd had taken 9 and 12 Advil a day before they got off sugar, and now their pain isn't there anymore. They don't need the Advil. Can you imagine what a relief that must be?
I'm sure their body is thrilled to be off of Advil as well. You
Yes.
know, when we add all those other things in there, it does play another role. But you know what still amazes me when we talk about Candida relief, Sue, is how many other symptoms you would never connect to sugar until you get off it, you know?
Oh, yeah, and people are surprised. They'll talk about, wow, I used to have really bad indigestion, and I always
Mm-hmm.
carried digest tabs with me and chewed them constantly, and I don't even need those anymore. I mean, people are amazed that what they put in their mouth has such long range effects on their entire body. Athletes, they are amazed because they already thought they had endurance, but they found the power drinks were loaded with sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to remember that about the human brain and food addiction. The dopamine receptor sites trigger a rush of pleasure in the brain and in the body. Every time you eat something high in sugar, you experience happy chemicals that create a pathway in your brain, thus resulting in a habit that leads to addiction.
Right, and as we've discussed on previous webinars, Deb, is that a lot of people who are overweight learned bad habits as children, being brought up in abusive homes or highly dysfunctional homes, where they would stuff things in their mouth because they were unable to express, or they
Yes.
were in danger of getting hit or abused or having their privileges taken away. So they learned to stuff their mouth. And the funny part
Yes.
is that later in life, people didn't realize this was a habit that they can change because they can express and they can love themselves by making changes.
Absolutely.
And let's
This
talk
is
about how the carbs change everything into sugar and your body has to process it that way. Go ahead,
yeah,
Miss. You are really good at this.
the vicious cycle, right? This is the cycle of hypoglycemia. What happens is you have a consumption of too many carbs, whether it's sweets. They have examples here of hot dogs, hamburgers, those lovely sugary sodas, fries. And then your body learns to expect those high levels of glucose that comes from eating those carbs. Then what happens is too much insulin is released and it causes your glucose levels to drop. Well, when that happens, you get a lot of numerous side effects. You get shakiness, headache, irritability, confusion, insomnia, and craving for more glucose. So what do? You eat more carbs. And that cycle continues, continues, and continues round and round.
Yep.
It is vicious.
And look at this.
Woo! Blood sugar spikes. When you eat sugar, we talk about we crave it. It has addictive properties, as Sue just explained. Blood sugar levels spike, dopamine is released in the brain. Addiction occurs. Mass insulin is secreted to drop the blood sugar levels. Okay, the blood sugar levels fall rapidly. High insulin levels cause immediate fat storage. Body craves the lost sugar high. And then the hungers and cravings set in. Low blood sugar levels cause increased appetite and cravings. Thus, the cycle is repeated.
Right. And once you're in the cycle, you really are restless. You try to eat an apple, you try to eat something different, but you don't feel satisfied. And that brings us to one of the main questions Deb and I get, which is, well, if I'm going to stop putting sugar in my tea, if I'm going to stop putting sugar on my cereal, can I use? And as soon as they say, can I use, I stop them, because if you use sugar substitutes, which is a whole nother webinar on different kind of poisoning of your body,
right?
The problem is you're not satisfied. You feel deprived. You feel like you didn't get what you needed because it's almost sweet. It's almost what you want. So we don't recommend you start substitutes. We recommend for the first 3 weeks you are just clean, and you will be amazed at what happens with your taste buds. You will be amazed at what happens with your vision. You will just be so startled that this whole time, because some people will say to me, oh, the only carbs I have all day are my sandwiches at lunch. Well, that's probably true. The problem there being you're feeding the candida that you've had for years. See, it's all together what's been happening. It's not I'm really super good today. It's an accumulation. Too much sugar can mess with your immune system. To fight illness, your white blood cells need lots of vitamin C. Unfortunately, glucose cells have a similar chemical structure, and they will fight with vitamin C to be absorbed. That means too much sugar, and you deprive your immune system of resources. Are you with us on that? Are you guys getting this? The hands are clapping. Okay. Too much sugar can reduce skin elasticity. Now, see, these are the obvious things laymen can notice. Your blood sugars are too high. Sugar begins to attach itself to the collagen in your skin. This makes the skin less supple and more prone to wrinkles. It's also more prone to tears, rips, deep bruising. The body creates a chemical called leptin, which creates that full feeling we get when we've eaten enough. If your blood sugar gets too high, the excess sugar is converted to triglycerides, which stop the leptin getting through.
Makes you hungry.
Right, that's why you're hungry all the time. And what does this tell us up here on the left?
Yeah, it says too much sugar causes quick dopamine releases. The quick release of dopamine that sugar creates makes you feel happy, but it wears off quickly and you crave that high again. This is why eating too much sugar has been linked to depression.
Amen. When you release too much dopamine, you're not in balance. You have 127 hormones that constantly are building each other, replacing, working, motivating cells to do what they need to do for new cells. And when you are out of balance with one of your groups of 127 hormones, just like the report on the skin getting, losing its elasticity, other things happen internally, especially to do with interstitial tissues in your lymphatic system. And it's not that you can never have ice cream again, and it's not that you can never have cake again. All we're asking you to do is find your reason for why you want to be sugar-free for the next 3 weeks. And then based on new information and listening to your body, you may make other determinations about your diet. Sorry, I still have to talk about soda. I know we have 1,900 different slides on why soda is so bad for you, but it just is.
It is. Yeah. It's amazing what happens after 1 hour after drinking a can of Coke. And in the first 10 minutes, 10 teaspoons of sugar hit your system. That's the full 100% of your recommended daily intake.
Yep.
In
And
the first,
go ahead.
yeah, in the first 20 minutes, that's your blood sugar spikes, causing an insulin burst. Your liver responds to this by turning any sugar it can get its hands on into fat. Then in the first 40 minutes, caffeine absorption is complete. Your pupils dilate, your blood pressure rises, the adenosine receptors in your brain are now blocked.
Yep.
Wow. Then what happens?
Well, in the first 45 minutes, your body ups your dopamine production, stimulating the pleasure centers of your brain. This is physically the same way heroin works, by the way. It's the same track, it's the same chemical response.
Wow.
The phosphoric acid binds calcium, magnesium, and zinc in your lower intestine, providing a further boost in metabolism. This is compounded by high doses of Sleegar and artificial sweeteners, also increasing the urinary excretion of calcium. So if you're excreting calcium, what does that mean to your brain? Because we've all covered a million times the order of calcium. Your body needs calcium first for your brain. So you're getting all crazy with dopamine up there. I'm sure the calcium isn't being absorbed, and that's why it's probably being secreted.
Wow.
Within 60 seconds, the caffeine's diuretic properties come into play. It makes you have to urinate. It is now assured that you'll evacuate the bonded calcium, magnesium, and zinc that was headed to your bones, as well as sodium, electrolytes, and water. All that gets gathered. All those things you need, by the way, for your heart and your brain. This is just one can of Coke, one bottle of Coke. It's again something that is an addiction, and people don't talk about it because they tend to think of an addiction is to drugs that are either illegal or alcohol, which, you know, we can get into a debate about that too. It's not good for you. So during a 3-week period, if you love soda, you may notice how much better your whole body feels. We get lots of questions about the other names for sugar, Miss Deb. Tell us some of those on the left.
Yes. Buttered syrup, maltose,
Num num.
caramel, corn syrup, dietase, high fructose corn syrup. I like this one, Florida crystals.
Yes.
Is that good? Yeah, malt sugar, lactose, glucose solids, Barbados sugar, sorbitol.
Oh, yes. And I get these things with destinations like the Barbados sugar to make you think like, oh, it might be okay for you because it's not cane sugar, right? Wrong. And people write to us and say, but I read my label and it said 0 calories, but then it said it had 5 grams of sugar. So what do I do? You have to trust how it is labeled. The FDA has gotten very loose about things, and if something is less than 4% of the ingredients, they don't have to list it anymore. That's why it'll say, and natural flavorings, and blah, blah, blah. They'll group together whatever the things are they don't want to tell you about that are in there. So shopping, what are we going to tell them for shopping? Oh, yeah, if it ends in OSE or OCE, chances are it came from sugar somewhere along the line. And then you were telling me yesterday about the alcohols.
Yeah, a lot of times if you read the label, it has no sugars, but it has sugar alcohols. just as bad. You don't want those items in your body. You don't want to have them. And so if you see that on the label, it means there's hidden sugar in that package, and really just try to look for something else. You'll be
Right.
doing yourself good.
And brown sugar, because I get this question all the time. Let me tell you where brown sugar comes from. Okay, guys, are you ready? The white sugar manufacturers sweep it up off the floor after they're done packaging all the Domino white sugar. They then put it in an old dryer that's rusty inside, and they add molasses, and they throw in some tennis shoes. They tumble it around for a while, and they put it in plastic bags for you. Does that make you want brown sugar now?
No. But it is a nice chuckle. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, Debbie found this for us just to give you an idea. Whenever coffee is flavored, guys, understand its base is either corn syrup, or sugar of some kind. They soak the beans. That's how you get the flavor. It's like McDonald's soaking all the frozen French fries in sugar water. It's how you get it into your body. The soups, you got to read the labels, guys. And sometimes just being aware, okay, just being aware that these things are there will make such a difference in your life. You get to make different choices.
And you know, Sue, we're talking about shopping, but once you go and you've done your research and you've read boxes, you're going to find things you like. And so once you found those things that are good for you, just write down, you know, keep it on your permanent food list so you don't have to keep reading. So, you know, initially it's a little bit of research, but later on it gets much easier.
Oh, yeah. And when they say things like rice syrup, people go, oh, well, I can use the panko on, it's not really bread, on my breadcrumbs. I can use the rice syrup. Wrong. That's how they're sneaking more sugar into you. These are other for sugar. Oh, tell them about the handouts, Deb.
Yes, there are the 3 handouts on the side, and one has all good healthy snacks for you. So you'll make it easier for shopping. And we do want to remind you, Sue and I found this out the hard way. Dried fruits. Sue and I both loved apricots. We would keep raisins handy for us as a quick snack. Oh my gosh, because they're dried, the sugar gets more concentrated. They're worse than eating the real things. So please be aware of that. Yeah, that was a good learning experience for us.
Oh, yeah.
You were what?
I was so happy to give up my raisins.
Well, yeah, but you know, for a while there, the big trend was like the dried cranberries and all the salads, and of course it was delicious. Why? You know, very, very sweet. The other one has some reliefs for, the other handout has some reliefs for getting us through the stages when we might get a little bit crabby when we're coming off of our sugar. So
for sure.
Yes.
And then there's a sheet on Candida and different sheet on coriander. You may have to resize it inside your computer to print
and
it
of course
out.
And of course our lovely ginger to help us as well.
Yes.
Okay. You know, it's really hard to, a lot of people, you and I are very open about saying we're sugar addicts, but some people don't like to say it. But when you really are in that vicious cycle, you really are addicted.
Yep.
Yep. And
moods, anxiety, depression. You manage your energy with sweet, soft drinks, coffee, and carbs. When you miss a treat, you feel anxious, depressed, headachy, or foggy brain. Remember when Carol would cheat on her sugar-free and she would get these terrible headaches and she'd call me and she goes, the oils aren't working. And I said, well, what did you have for lunch? No, I don't want to talk about that. Okay, then you know where your headache came from. Stop it.
You're right. You're right.
So just keep these things in mind. Just say no thank you when sugar is offered. Read the labels. Eat homemade food without sugar. Hey, if there's a celebration between now and Christmas, like a family anniversary or some big party, Take the dessert home and put it in your freezer. Save it when your 3 weeks is over. We know you don't discuss with outside of your house family that you've gone sugar-free. Why do you think that is?
Oh, because people like to sabotage you.
Yes.
And
They
they
will
make
your
favorite dessert,
favorite.
right?
Yes. Yes, they will bring you your favorite dessert. They will bring you your favorite bread warm because they want to help you, quote unquote. Don't tell them.
Oh, yeah. Some help.
Yes. Can't you just hear the little one saying yes?
I love it. Yes. It's true. And you know what? We're so thankful that we have oils to help us through all of this, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Grounding blend, joyful blend, peppermint or bergamot, sandalwood, clary sage, frankincense, myrrh. All these things apply to the bottom of your feet, around your core, when you make your clear statement of intent to make a lifestyle change that's in your best interest, and you're going to feel good, your body's going to be glad, you're going to have a better quality of life. All these oils can be helpful. Grab your favorite oil and mix it with it. When you're focused on, I am happy with the change, it really makes a big difference. Now, what to expect when you make a change like this?
Yeah, many things start to look different to you. They're going to feel different. They taste different. You will be less stressful responding to events and responsibilities. Your head will clear, and you will see things in a new way. Isn't that exciting?
It is exciting, and I like it that my taste buds perk up and my sense of smell gets so much better.
And again, as you said before, joint pain gets reduced, your headaches will be reduced, and you will sleep better.
Yes. And you'll have more energy through the late afternoon. And one of the things I personally discover every time I do this, by day 4, I'm totally less hungry overall. I'm easily satisfied with a couple eggs and steak. I'm easily satisfied with lots of, like, the new thing we learned, 10 ingredient green salads and all vegetables. It's very satisfying because we're just fueling our body. It's not about making the dopamine go crazy. All these things can happen depending on, within the first 3 days, depending on how addicted you are, whether it's carbs, bread, sugar, whatever it might be decorated as. You've got to drink extraordinary amounts of water. But these are things that can happen as a result, and you just have to use your oils and bear with it.
You might have constipation or diarrhea. You will feel fatigued, short-tempered, be distracted, have tummy pain, see the dark side of everything. You may also have mucus discharge, have cravings, bad breath, sleep rolling, busy hands.
Where you can't settle to sleep.
Right. Feet smell.
Yes.
And the need to frequently shower.
Yes.
So, yeah, these are all things that you may have to go through.
Yes, and if you get the urge for a binge and you find yourself inside of a grocery store, quit, run out to the car and drink your water. If you're home, drink water. Brush your teeth, floss, rinse with mouthwash. It will help you stop eating. I put Melaleuca right on my On Guard toothpaste, and trust me, you don't want to put anything that has flavor in your mouth after you do that. And find a mirror, look in it, and tell yourself why you need to stop eating. Remind yourself of your goals. Convince yourself you're strong enough to do this.
Yeah, and I think distraction works. Distract yourself. Go for a jog. Watch a TV show. Paint your nails. Read a novel. And I find that this is one of the most important things, is forgive yourself for your binge and accept that you binged and move on. Tomorrow is a new day.
Yes, and you can do this. One bad day does not ruin your progress. And what we do is we recommend if you slip, if you're out somewhere and you grab a breadstick and you start munching on it, it's not the end of the world. Do not then trash the rest of your day. Enjoy that breadstick. Enjoy that chocolate chip cookie. Just thoroughly enjoy it and drink lots of water, use your coriander, and move on.
Mm-hmm. So true, so. And when we're talking about sugar withdrawal, we're talking about what can make candida worse. So it's antibiotic use, a diet rich in refined sugar, a diet rich in hybrid fruit sugar, lack of sunlight and lack of vitamin D3, stress, adrenal exhaustion, malnutrition, eating food or consuming coffee contaminated with mold or mycotoxins.
Right. Hormonal changes can make your candida worse, including getting on or off birth control pills. Corticosteroid use, diabetes symptoms, overeating, decrease in immunity, dehydration, chemotherapy exposure, and pregnancy. All these things feed the candida, which is started out as yeast you need in your body, but you need it in balance. You need it to absorb all the B complex vitamins in your intestinal tract. But when it gets out of control from sugar, from antibiotics, from dehydration, from stinking thinking, all those things contribute to candida. And so during the period of time that you stopped feeding it, that's part of why you get crabby. So we have webinars on Living Vision Board. It's already recorded. Just go to our YouTube page and review it. Set goals. Use your own affirmations. We've sent you sheets and sheets of affirmations. You're going to change your shopping habits. And what did you say? The circle around the outside?
Yeah, most supermarkets, the healthy things, the healthier items are in the outer parts of the supermarket. So the vegetables and produce are on the outer part. Your chicken and meat are normally on like a back wall, and then on the other side are some dairy products. So if you avoid those middle aisles of chips and dips and frozen pizzas, you're on a good start.
Right. And if you eat on a regular schedule, I know this sounds dumb in our day and age of how busy we are, but part of this is you're feeding your body when you need to feed it. So when you get up in the morning, you drink your 2 glasses of water right away, you shower, you eat. You don't wander around carrying your coffee or tea. You don't just go drive through whatever's open in your area, Mickey D's or whatever. You have something already prepared because you were clever in your shopping. I go shopping for vegetables every couple of days. I bring them home. I spend a lot of time cutting them up, putting them in Ziplocs, and they're ready. So when I want a munchie do, I just go to the refrigerator and have it. It satisfies the crunchy craving. I have boiled eggs because that's protein and it's great.
Yeah, and you just want to make sure that you use your supplements, the PB Assist, your LLV, Terrazyme, Zendocrine. That will help get you through eliminating all the toxins that we're getting rid of when we reduce our sugar.
Right, because the body is so excited that it doesn't have to process. It doesn't have to work that hard with sugar because it does work really, really hard with sugar. And consistent is really important. So if you're going to start the PB Assist even before Monday, decide you're going to do 2 a day before meals and stick with it. Do the LLV, do the Terrazyme because it's such a gift to your cells that are recovering from sugar assault. And be consistent with the Zendocrine. I only recommend one of those, the capsules, at lunch each day. Don't care what the directions say. Build in non-food rewards for benchmarks. Dun, da, 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 da. And what have we suggested in the past for this, Miss Deb?
Oh, plan a date, go to the movies, get a new book, just even a spa day. My friends and I did when we do it. And by benchmarks, we don't mean necessarily weight loss. It means how many days that we're sugar-free. So just treat yourself to something nice. Include your family if you want to. But those are great little rewards for yourself. Okay, it
Right.
does shopping trip. For those of you that like to shop, actually at the stores, then plan that.
Oh, right. Then there's those of us who go like, oh, I'm not shopping. We go to the botanical gardens. We buy tickets to art events. We buy tickets to concerts. We reward ourselves with non-food rewards because our society has preconditioned us. Every celebration involves sugar and alcohol, right?
It's true. It's really true. And even like get-togethers with friends, it's normally around food. So change it up.
Right. So with this new lifestyle thing, what are some real side effects of mastering this change?
Yes, and I've actually observed this, Sue. Acute sharpening of your senses and feelings.
Yes.
Seeing familiar things look different.
Yes.
Even old movies in your head seem different.
Yep.
Get peaceful sleep, higher energy. It's easier to confirm virtues of yourself and others.
Yes.
Healthier cell replacement is ongoing. And appreciation of the world at large. Amazing.
And well, again, we'll remind you, resist the discomfort as an excuse to grab a quick fix or treat. Resist it. Have a better treat available. Drink water. Use your oils. Restate your appreciation of the changes as a mark of your self-love. Forgot that thing there. Okay. Self-love. Loving yourself is so important. It's really just the first 3 days that can be a little torturing. After that, things are better. Now, we need to talk about cassia because it's one of the oils everybody just bought that last special. Okay. Cassia, you need to remember, is cinnamon on steroids. Cassia is hot. Cassia stays hot longer. We always blend it with something so that it can have a partner.
It can be so soothing, though.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anti-inflammatory. It's an astringent. It's antiviral. It boosts the immune system. It's a cardiovascular strengthener. That means it's good for your heart. So even if you're thinking bad thoughts about yourself or your ex or your boss, cassia can compensate. Tell us about rosemary.
Oh, yeah, we have a friend, Rosemary. Oh, no, you mean the oil.
Yes.
Rosemary. Rosemary is an adrenal cortex stimulant. It's an analgesic. It's an anti-arthritic. It's also antibacterial, anti-cancer. I can't say it. Anti-catarrhal, antifungal, anti-infectious.
Right.
Okay, and that includes staph and strep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Anti-inflammatory, anti-spasmodic, antioxidant, anti-parasitic, antiseptic. It's an astringent. It's good for colitis, diuretic. It's great expectorant of cloggy, sticky mucus. So it's respiratory system and digestive system both. Wow.
Right. And you can understand how it could be helpful with asthma, bronchitis, colds, pneumonia, sinusitis, and whooping cough. It is great for the gallbladder, liver. Oh, I put that bad word in there. I said something about cirrhosis getting healed. I'm sorry. And stomach improves circulation and is warming when applied to the back and the feet. But again, rosemary is very, very strong. So it's not warm, but baby, you put a little bit on the bottom of your feet, you're going to taste it in 2 minutes. Rosemary is an amazing gift. If you can still find one of P.J. Hank's books on oils, she has an entire chapter devoted to how rosemary saved her life. And it's amazing all the different applications she found of rosemary. So I tell everybody, get that book, get that book.
Good.
And ginger. Ginger was the discounted oil this month, right?
Ginger, yes. It's also good for the heart, isn't it?
Yes, it's amazing for the heart.
Yeah, it's a circulatory stimulant. Oh, there it is, tonic of the heart. Ginger oil is indicated for cold hands and feet, for cardiac fatigue, and angina pectoris. Ginger can be hot. Its invigorating nature makes it, in addition, a powerful...
It means that your skin, right, at the skin level, and increase blood flow for rheumatic pain of the cold and contracting. Some forms of arthritis can contract muscles, make them shorter. In the long run, ginger oil will improve your athletic performance. Yay! I always wanted to be able to run the 100 by increasing blood. Therefore, extending your endurance, stamina, and muscle strength. Ginger's amazing. It's also, we know the regular things. It's great for digestion. It's anti-nausea. I mean, we already did a program on ginger. You can find that posted. Notes to self. It's really important that you write notes to yourself. Positive on your mirror, on doorways, in car, in drawers, on the fridge. And the notes are intended to distract you from your negative circle of anticipation or your negative circle of thinking that's automatic when you're kind of just moving from place to place. It's important you create new patterns to support new goals. Frankincense and bergamot in the back of the neck are a major gift for restating. Cassia, rosemary, and ginger is an extraordinary blend for the bottom of the feet that not only will warm your heart and your hands, but will allow you to restate your virtues and you get to accept them. Told you already about the On Guard toothpaste a minute ago. Yes, your mugs. Yes, we still have a few available from our third printing. And write to Deb at happycal359@gmail.com. That's HAPPYCAL 359@gmail.com. If you are not keeping your diffuser going, this is why you need to.
Yeah, diffusing helps with memory, helps your hormones, emotion, and respiratory system. Our sense of smell is so closely tied to the region of the brain that controls long-term memory or hormones and emotion. Essential oils also directly affect the respiratory system when they're inhaled. So diffuse, diffuse, diffuse.
Right, and Dr. Dave told us a long time ago about citrus bliss in his office where he did surgery to help people manage their blood pressure during anxiety. And a lot of us went, oh, cool, thanks, Dr. Dave. We hadn't thought of that one. Oh, look, we're going to tell them coriander. One of my favorite oils. Coriander is your friend. If you're a sugar addict, coriander truly is your friend. Coriander is so good at helping you balance the pancreas, the spleen, your digestive system. Coriander is just amazing.
It helps with digestion. Even what did we do right after Thanksgiving, right, Sue?
Oh, yeah, we passed coriander around the table, baby.
So she's not just making this up. We definitely do use this. And it really does help aid your digestion and help with all that carbs. It's good if you're diabetic. It's good. It helps if you have diarrhea, your digestive spasms, fatigue, flatulence. Okay, so grab that bottle, right?
Pass from your other mouth. That's what flatulence is.
I did not say that.
Natural deodorant. Other fragrances too.
Okay.
Okay. The emotional can provide a calming influence to those suffering from shock or fear when diffused. So, how many times have you heard me say, if you witness a terrible car accident and you pull over and want to be helpful, It doesn't matter what oil you have. Rub it on your hands, run over and hold it underneath the nose, your hand with the oil on it, underneath the nose of the person who is a little disoriented. Just let them inhale, pull your hand away, and quietly fade into the crowd, fade into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever oil you have is the correct oil, because any molecules inhaled will be very helpful to the person and adding to their coping skills, adding to their ability to choose fight or flight. Their body will respond very well. Any oil you have is the right oil.
It's true.
Okay.
Yep.
And isn't this part of what's on the handouts? So they can read this one too, right?
Yes. Part of our handouts, absolutely. All about coriander and all of its great uses. It's
yes.
there.
Deny joy. They use self-punishment. They want to criticize themselves. Coriander helps you have a broader acceptance of the choices you've made in the past. So when you recognize it's time for a different choice, you can ease into it as opposed to being defiant.
Okay. Good.
Does that help?
That's a really good help.
Yeah, I want you to wash away negativity. When you've given up sugar, you're freeing up old patterns and habits. Your body's able to dump some of those fat cells that it made in a hurry when you were over dopamine. So drink more water. Drink more water. What kind of water and how do we drink it? Do we drink it hot or cold, Miss Deb?
We like room temperature water. We always have it at room temperature. As you explained, drinking cold water has our body working at a different pace to deal with the temperature of the water. So room temperature water is best.
Yeah. And when you want to motivate faster elimination of cells you don't want, warm water on a regular basis is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is one of your handouts, and for those of you who are driving and just listening, it covers blends, it covers affirmations like, I am allowing my creative self to flow and surprise me with new spontaneous ideas on how to have more fun each day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's affirmations here. We have different combinations for relief of crabby. So our focus is, I'm choosing a new lifestyle. I've eaten enough sugar and carbs that I need to understand that I'm going to do things in a new way. And it's just like exercising on your exercise bike when you've neglected it for 3 weeks. You're going to have some sore muscles. Some of those sore muscles are going to be cravings. But you get over
Yes.
it, right? Don't we get over sore muscles when we exercise when we haven't for a while?
Of course. This is a temporary, symptoms. Like you said, after normally the first 3 days and you're drinking your water and doing your supplements, they go away. And all the little tricks that we gave you, having your snacks ready, and we have that snack list, and brushing your teeth with On Guard Melaleuca, they were all just little tools to help you get through that initial things. Once you discover all the great feelings, right, Sue, of how your body is,
yes,
you don't even want to think about it anymore.
Not only that, but it's really important that you remember not to discuss the changes with your friends who are not gone sugar-free. They will help you back into habits that are not serving you well. They don't mean to. It's just that because everyone's nature is to resist change, they don't want you to be successful, because that would mean then they could do it if they applied themselves.
It's true. Never really quite thought about it like that, but it's so true.
Yes.
And we have 2 more helpful oils here.
Right. I love Lang Lang. A lot of people don't get it. They'll say, oh man, it's $34, whatever. Get the Lang Lang.
It's well worth it.
It's wonderful. It's gentle. It's an antidepressant, anti-diabetic, anti-infectious, anti-inflammatory, parasitic, spasmodic. I mean, everything that you want at this particular time. Remember, this is part of cleansing. I do not recommend other than diet change, doing an organized cleanse that involves a lot more than PB Assist, Terrazyme, and Zendocrine. I don't recommend it during this period of time because when you're feeling bad, you want to know what it is. So if you're feeling bad and it's just sugar withdrawal, you can handle it. But if you're feeling bad because you're taking GX Assist and you're, increased, you're not feeding yourself enough protein, you're not feeding yourself 6 meals a day, little meals, then you won't know it's the getting off the sugar that's making you feel bad or if a cleanse is making you feel bad. You don't want to complicate things. Don't, like one lady, God bless her, she'd never used oils and she picked up the 30-day cleanse and she was having rashes and she was having headaches. And I said, what are you doing besides the basic give up sugar? Oh, well, I picked up the cleanse and I'm taking all this and I got some protein and I'm doing that. And I said, whoa, you're asking your body to dump 40 years of toxins all in 1 week. All we're asking you to do is change your taste buds. After you get used to that change, because it's an addiction and it comes from your brain, then we can ease you into doing cleanses. Please don't combine. You will make yourself very unhappy. And some people say, oh, I'm strong, I can handle it. Well, when you're laying in bed crying because you are hopeless and everything hurts, you'll remember I said you can't drink too much water and do this gently.
Right. And one of my go-tos when I do this is fennel. Fennel is very effective in assisting in counterbalancing your white sugar poisoning. It's helpful with gout, arthritis, to prevent the buildup of toxic waste in the body, which precede that inflammatory condition of the joints. Fennel can be helpful in reducing appetite between meals or when you're working through recovering from an addiction, sugar. It's excellent in reducing unwanted waste collected in pockets within the body and with cellulite gatherings.
Yes.
Yeah, so and I just love the taste of it and the smell. There's something about it that's just very soothing for me, the fennel. I don't know. But I just even love just to smell it.
Yeah, no, it's just very, very life promoting. Some people don't like geranium because, they're emotionally processing old stuff. Fennel will let you process at your own pace. Its real job is to get rid of parasites. Parasites include stinking thinking. Parasites include self-criticism. Parasites include finding fault with everyone in your world. Use the fennel. This is a simple shortcut to what you need to do to keep yourself healthy during the 3-week abstinence from sugar. Drink water, at least 70% of your body weight in ounces daily. Take the PB Assist. Take the Terrazyme. You're going to do PB Assist 2 a day, Terrazyme before each meal. The Lifelong Vitality, you're just going to take it. You're going to use your essential oils that are agreeable to you. You're going to take your 2 20-minute walks because you're going to help your body dump things that aren't good for you anymore. You're going to make clear statements of positive about yourself. And you're going to have a food plan that includes eating regular meals at regular times, regular healthy snacks at regular times. Think of your body as this huge manufacturing plant that needs to be fed on a consistent basis.
You made it very simple. That's an easy plan to follow, and everyone will be successful if they just stick with this list right here. It's amazing.
Don't make it complicated. Start each day with a grateful heart. Be grateful for you, for being brave enough to do something new, to try new things your way. And when you have a slip, what are we going to say, Miss Deb?
Just pick yourself up and keep on going. Don't ruin the rest of the day. Don't, especially if you're slipped early in the morning. Don't say, I ruined it. Just keep going.
Right.
And Sue said, enjoy the slip, right?
Enjoy it. Yeah, guilt-free. Okay, yeah, I screwed up. Okay, but I'm going to enjoy this little mouthful. Okay? Very
Exactly.
important that you have some format, that you're making up the little notes to yourself. You're making clear statements of intent and positive about your virtues in your life. We created an undated calendar that people love when they're going through changes in their life. We've posted
Mhm.
over 45 webinars to do with this undated calendar. So you can pick a day you like, you can pick a week you like, and you can write up these affirmations. You can put them on your car, put them on the doorways, put them on the kitchen, what do you call it, the refrigerator, the source of all
Mhm.
evil. Anyway, this is a fun thing. And yes, you can still order them from several sources. Write to us, we'll tell you how. And then always on every page we have Ollie. And what does Ollie do for us, Miss Deb?
He gives a helpful hint for all of us, including children, and he gives them an affirmation and explains one of the oils that is in the blend for that week. So it's a lot of fun. It reinforces skills for me and what oil usages are. And I even like his affirmations too. So it just gives us an extra one for the week. He's a lot of fun.
Remember, this is a lifestyle choice. This is not a diet. We do not want you to feel deprived. We do not want you to feel you're punishing yourself. This is a
Mm-mm.
reward for being well educated about what's good for you. Several people wrote and said, I didn't get the newsletter. Well, maybe you forgot to write and ask to be put on the list. We have a newsletter that cannot be republished or distributed. It's strictly information, and it answers questions that are sent to streetsharing@gmail.com.
And I think it's so appropriate to end with how we began. Remember that one reason people resist change is because they focus on what they have to give up instead of what they have to gain. And that is just so
Right,
true.
right. And this is an example. I am open to receiving infinite streams of abundance with ease. This allows me to give back even more to the world.
Yay.
So, sugar free and you're feeling good about things, you can be more
Mhm.
creative about what you give back to the world. And we'd like to thank you for joining us today. And yes, this will be published later. And you can do this. And we're starting bright and early Monday morning. And yes, we'll have a webinar sometime on Tuesday that you'll find really fun.
Mhm.
Thank you, Miss Deb. You were amazing as usual.
Well, thank you, Sue. And everyone listening, just do this. You're going to feel amazing. And it's the perfect time of the year to do this right before our Christmas holiday or, our other holidays that everyone celebrates. So just be strong and do it. It's wonderful. You're going to feel amazing, right, Sue?
Amen. Thank you. Have a
Amen. Bye, everyone.
serving all the
Thank
best
you.
to your friends.